Your salary is a cage. And I'm about to show you how banks build it, lock it, and keep you inside. Let me tell you about Jessica. She was a senior account manager, pulling in a solid $84,000 a year. By every standard we're taught to admire, she was successful. Stable job, great income, perfect credit. So, when she walked into a Chase bank, she wasn't asking for a handout. She wanted a $25,000 loan. Not for a fancy trip, not for a luxury car, not to treat herself. She wanted to start her own consulting business. She had everything lined up. She already had 2 clients ready to go, each paying her $3,000 a month. She had detailed projections showing she could hit a 6-figure income of $150,000 a year within 18 months. She just needed that initial capital to cover her basic living expenses during the transition and invest in some essential business tools. It was a solid plan. The loan officer listened patiently. He nodded. He even smiled. But then came the punchline, the requirements. He asked for 18 months of business tax returns. He wanted audited financial statements. And he needed $30,000 in collateral. Think about that, it was a brand new business. There were no tax returns. There were no financial statements to audit. She was building it from scratch. She didn't have 30 grand lying around for collateral. So application denied. Jessica walked out of that bank feeling embarrassed, like she'd completely misunderstood how the world of money really works. But then, just 3 weeks later, something fascinating happened. That very same bank mailed her an offer. It was a pre-approved auto loan for $38,000 at 6.2% interest. No business plan needed, no collateral required. All they cared about was her W-2, her proof that she had that stable $84,000 a year job. The bank would have gladly put her in a brand new car the very next day. A car that would instantly lose thousands of dollars in value the second she drove it off the lot. The business loan could have tripled her income. The car loan would have put her deeper into debt for a depreciating asset. The bank said yes to the car and a hard no to the business. That single moment reveals a fundamental truth that most people never see. Banks don't lend you money based on your potential. They lend you money based on your predictability. Let's break this down. Why do banks love salaries but hate real ambition? When you apply for a business loan, the bank is taking a bet on your future. They're betting on your idea, your skill, your hustle. To them, that's a risk. But when you apply for a car loan or a mortgage, the bank isn't betting on you. They're betting on your job. They're betting on your salary, your boss, and your routine paycheck. That paycheck is a guaranteed stream of payments flowing directly into their pockets. And here's the part nobody ever says out loud. The question isn't just, can you pay us back? The real, unspoken question is, will you stay dependent and predictable long enough to keep paying us for years to come? Think about it. An employee with a car payment and a mortgage is predictable. They have to keep showing up to that job, week after week, to make those payments. But a successful business owner? They become independent. One of these customers needs the bank for the rest of their life. The other one eventually doesn't, and the entire system is designed to favor the one who stays dependent. It's no accident that getting into certain kinds of debt is so easy. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, U.S. consumer debt soared past $17.5 trillion this year. Almost all of it is tied directly to salary-based lending. Mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, home equity lines of credit, every single one is calibrated to what you earn right now. But notice the marketing messages you never see. You never see a billboard that says borrow to build equity or get a loan to escape your job. You never hear an ad saying take this money to increase your future income. No. Instead, you hear, you deserve this new car. You've earned that vacation. It's time to upgrade your lifestyle. The debt you're offered is perfectly sized. It's just enough to keep you comfortable so you don't revolt, but just stressful enough that you can't escape. Every time you get a promotion, what happens? Your credit limit magically increases. Every time you get a raise, a new bigger payment seems to appear. Your income goes up, but the cage just expands right along with it. Let's do some math that should make you angry. Say you earn $90,000 a year. A bank will practically beg you to take on a $300,000 mortgage, a $35,000 car loan, and give you $40,000 in credit card limits. That's $370,000 in debt, all tied to your current paycheck. But if you ask for just $50,000 to start a business that could realistically generate an extra $5,000 a month within a year, adding $60,000 to your annual income, suddenly you're too risky. But here's the most effective, most insidious part of this whole system. It doesn't just deny you the loans. Over time, it trains you to stop asking for them in the first place. You internalize their logic. You start thinking, this is what I'm worth. This is what I can afford. This is my limit. You stop asking, what assets should I own? And you start asking, what monthly payment can I manage? At that point, the bank doesn't even need to stop you anymore. You're already managing the cage yourself. So, what happened to Jessica? She didn't take that car loan. She kept her old, reliable Toyota. She kept her day job. And she built her consulting business at night and on weekends. It was a grind. It took her 2 years instead of the 6 months she had planned. But today, Jessica earns $230,000 a year. She employs 4 other people. And most importantly, she owns equity in her own business. She doesn't just make payments on someone else's. And the best part? Last month, that same bank called her. Not to offer her a loan for a depreciating car. This time they wanted to offer her wealth management services. They wanted to help her manage the success they refused to help her create. They said no when it mattered, and yes when it didn't. She told them no thanks. Here is the rule that banks don't want you to learn. Your salary is not your potential. It is simply the current price someone is willing to pay for your time. Banks want you to believe that your salary is your ceiling, because ceilings keep people predictable and profitable. Being financially responsible doesn't mean finding a payment you can afford. True financial responsibility means focusing on ownership. Every single dollar you spend on interest is a dollar that could have been used to buy an asset, to buy a piece of your freedom. The Federal Reserve says the average American household pays over $420,000 in interest over their lifetime. That isn't bad luck. That's the design of the system. So how do you break the pattern? First, stop asking, what can I afford? And start asking, what should I own? Track how much money you spend every month on things that lose value: car payments, credit card interest, subscriptions you don't use. That number is your wealth gap. It's the money that could be building your future. Next, automate your savings and investments. Make asset acquisition your first priority before lifestyle spending. Let your life adjust around building ownership, not around servicing debt. And whenever you're offered a loan, ask one simple question. Does this make the bank money, or does this make me money? The answer is always crystal clear. Your salary is not a life sentence. It's a temporary agreement. That ceiling only exists as long as you believe it does. Stop financing your present with your future. Stop letting institutions that profit from your predictability convince you that ambition is irresponsible. You are not here to afford a life, you are here to build one, and now you can see the cage. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that helps you build your freedom.